Dear all, Nova families, faculty, leadership, and members of the board, honored guests, and above all, dear graduates, welcome to our commencement ceremony celebrating the class of 2025. And indeed, there is much to celebrate, because we can all agree that the class of 2025 is one of the strongest cohorts we've had to date, not only in terms of academics, but also in the passionate pursuit of all sorts of initiatives, both in school and the community in large, in terms of scholarship, leadership, athleticism, volunteering. They are driven, outspoken, and eager to leave a mark. My dear seniors, as you step into your post-high school life, I wish to remind you one last time of some key points I tried to instill in you over these years as your counselor. Number one, finding the right fit is key. Whether it's your next educational pursuit, your next job, a new city, new partners, new friends, seek out environments and people that resonate with your passions, talents, and values. Remember, it's not just about where you go. It's also about how you go and feel when you're there. Two, be open and flexible. Life is not a linear trajectory, and the future job market is dynamic and constantly evolving. Setbacks are part of life's journey and growth, and you will learn and grow most by embracing change and unexpected opportunities. Be ready to adapt and explore new paths that you might not have considered before. Three, think of rejection as redirection. While some of your university choices may not have worked out, I hope I taught you that you can experience success and fulfillment at more than one place. Regardless of outcomes, the completion of the journey, the research, the essay writing, the testing, the interviewing, the meeting deadlines, is a remarkable accomplishment in itself. Don't lose sight of the process of self-exploration as you chase the results. Through it, you experience immense growth. 4, empathy and people skills go a long way. Network, network, network. The ability to relate to others is your superpower. It will help you build meaningful relationships, a sense of belonging, and create positive impacts in your communities and beyond. 5, you know what's another superpower? Reading emails. Seriously, read them. They are the definitive sign of adulting. They are your tickets to opportunities, connections, and yes, sometimes even free pizza at college events. Imagine missing out on internship opportunities, a scholarship deadline, or waking up early to attend a class that was canceled just because you didn't check your inbox. So as you toss your caps in the air and go out there ready to conquer the world, remember to keep an eye on those emails. And my last informal mantra is, once a counselor, always your counselor. I hope you always stay caring and involved, keep in touch, and nurture an enduring Nova connection as alums. Please, everyone, join me in an applause for our amazing graduates. The class of 2025 has many talents, notably including a musical one. So we will open the ceremony with the national anthems rendered by a choir composed of Nova seniors, and I will ask everyone to please rise for the singing of the national anthems.
Dnes nad Makedonia se rađa, novo sonce na sloboda ta. Makedonci te se borat za svoj te pravdini, si šumno pejat. Novi pesni, novi vesnici. Makedonija slobodna, slobodno žive. Makedonija slobodna, slobodno žive. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' round glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts on full like floods before thee, opening to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day.
Next, I would like to invite our head of schools, Mr. Ivan Novakovsky, to deliver his opening address to the class of 2025.
Good evening, graduates, faculty, families, and friends. Today we gather not only to celebrate your achievements, but also to look ahead to the vast possibilities that await you. In a world that often measures success by productivity and perfection, I invite you to do something radical as you step into this next chapter. Join me on this little quest, and yes, I will be giving you another list of suggestions to search for the long-lost art of finding joy and kindness. Why joy and kindness? They're not just merely happenstances, because they're intentional practices. Tonight, please listen to these 3 advices that I'll give you. Try to reflect, and hopefully, as you move in the next chapter of your life, some of this will be of value to you. So, the first one that I want to impart on you is to reach out to your people. Harvard psychiatrist Dr. Robert Wattinger, director of the world's longest running study on happiness, puts it simply: good relationships keep us happier and healthier, period. Across decades of research, one truth has remained constant: our well-being is deeply rooted in the strength and quality of our relationships. In a world that often values productivity over presence, it's easy to forget that joy often hides in the smallest acts of connection. A quick message to an old friend, a shared laugh in the hallway, a conversation that lingers after class. These moments, although seemingly ordinary, can weave the extraordinary fabric of belonging and meaning into our lives. Even imperfect, messy relationships have profound power. They remind us that we're seen, valued, and not alone in this journey. As the Persian poet Rumi reminds us, be with those who help your being. So seek out people who lift you up, and don't be afraid to be that person for someone else. So call your grandmother, ask someone how they are, invite a classmate to join you for lunch. Joy grows in the soil of connection. Let's keep planting those seeds. 2, live each day like it's your first. Sulika Juad, an American writer and advocate, challenges the often dramatic mantra of live like it's your last day. Instead, she invites you to adopt a much gentler, more life-affirming perspective. Live like it's your first. Think of a child encountering the world for the first time. Eyes wide, senses alert, heart open. That kind of presence, curious, unfiltered, and full of wonder, is what sustains joy, not just in fleeting moments, but over a lifetime. So it asks us to slow down, to notice, to savor. Sometimes joy arrives quietly in a shared glance, the scent of morning air, or the calm of a familiar routine. There's beauty in the ordinary, and meaning often reveals itself when we least expect it. Beginnings carry a quiet magic. They remind us that every day offers a chance to see the world anew, to start fresh, and to meet life with an open mind. So meet today, not with pressure, but with presence. Let curiosity lead the way, and allow joy to follow. And 3, choose kindness over cruelty. In his 2023 commencement address at Northwestern University, Governor J.B. Pritzker offered a striking insight. The best way to spot an idiot? Look for the person who is cruel. While the phrasing may be coarse, the wisdom behind it is profound. Pritzker explains that cruelty is often a byproduct of fear and insecurity, primal instincts that prompt us to judge, exclude, or belittle others to feel safe or superior. But truth, human growth, begins when we learn to resist those impulses. Empathy and compassion are evolved states of being, he says. They require the mental capacity to step past our most primal urges. Kindness, then, is not a weakness. It's a discipline. It demands self-awareness, emotional intelligence, and the courage to lead with your heart, even when it's not easy. In a culture where sarcasm, cynicism, and detachments can sometimes be mistaken for intelligence or strength, Pritzker reminds us that the real markers of wisdom are far gentler. He ends his address with a simple but powerful truth, drawn from ears in both politics and business. The kindest person in the room is often the smartest, because kindness isn't just about being nice. It's about being brave. It's about being perceptive enough to understand, strong enough to act with humanity in a world that doesn't always value those qualities. So when in doubt, be the one who reaches out, who listens, who uplifts, because that's where your true strengths lie. Graduates, as you step into the world, remember that joy and kindness are not just personal virtues. They can be transformative forces. They shape communities, they foster understanding, and pave the way for a more compassionate world. In the words of American author and philosopher Howard Thurman, don't ask what the world needs. Ask what makes you come alive and do it. Because what the world needs is people who come alive. Congratulations, class of 25. Embrace joy, practice kindness, and let both guide you on your journey ahead. Thank you.
And now, it is my utmost pleasure to introduce to you tonight's keynote speaker, someone who will be celebrating her 20-year Nova reunion next year. Back in 2006, she was like you and sat in her cap and gown at her own graduation ceremony. I fondly remember chaperoning her class on their senior trip through Europe, sharing a room in Italy, and our train adventure to the Lees Museum in Figueres. Years later, my daughters and I somehow ended up in PMG Collected's music video she directed. Throughout this time, as she built a career in the creative industry, she remains an active Nova alumna, always willing to share her experiences with our students. Anna Jakimska is a Macedonian film writer-director known for combining structured storytelling with a strong sense of atmosphere. Her debut short film, The Children Will Come, a live-action folk fairy tale, premiered in competition for the Golden Goblet at the Shanghai International Film Festival in 2017. The film went on to screen at over 50 festivals worldwide, receiving numerous accolades and resonating with audiences from South America to Australia. In 2022, she completed her second short film, Blue Hour, a contemporary exploration of identity and belonging. The film continued her interest in stories rooted in cultural nuance and emotional ambiguity, focusing on characters who navigate dislocation and in-betweenness. Alongside her film work, Anna is the co-founder and creative director of Sutaren, a video agency based in Skopje. Since 2018, she has led the creative development of short-form narratives for a diverse roster of clients, combining a filmmaker's heart with an entrepreneurial mind to deliver effective commercial communication. The agency operates internationally and is known for its concept-driven cinematic work. Anna holds a master's degree in filmmaking, directing fiction from Goldsmiths, University of London. She was awarded the Chevening Scholarship in 2023, a prestigious distinction granted by the UK's Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office to individuals demonstrating exceptional leadership. She appears on the American documentary series Cinema Nomad as the host of the Macedonian episode. The series, which premiered on PBS across North America in early 2025, explores national identity through the lens of each country's cinematic history and contemporary film culture. Anna's current work for the screen is focused on developing original fiction rooted in personal experience and cultural observation, shaped by themes of migration, generational memory, and the tension between heritage and modernity. I now invite Anna to share with you how she got to this point, about all those important in-betweens and embracing change as the only constant.
Thank you, Irina. Dear Nova faculty and administration, dear parents, dear guests and friends of Nova, dear class of 2025. It's not only an honor, but it's a humbling moment to be standing on this stage and speaking to you today on this very important and big day for you. Dear graduates, today marks a threshold in your lives and a moment that you will remember for many years to come. I was in your shoes, now almost 20 years ago, wearing the cap and gown and feeling hasty about everything that was awaiting from that day on. Some would say that the gap of almost 2 decades between us means that today I should pass on wisdom to you. But it hasn't been that long for me to forget how little influence other people's life lessons had on me when I was your age, or ever, really. So I will skip that part. Being young, eloquent, and informed seldom mixes well with following unsolicited big narratives. And I've heard that this class is exactly that. So instead of motivational content, which I personally am not a big fan of either, I'll tell you the story of how I went from being a prospective undergraduate at the University of Kansas's creative writing program to a film director and now owner of a video agency in Skopje. This won't be a textbook dream come true story. I'll tell you at the end why I think it's important that you hear a story of this kind that is not conventionally happy. Ever since I know of myself, I wanted to be a writer. At Nova, I started a blog and published short stories online under an alias. I fell in love with American prose. The matter-of-factness of the narration and the absence of flowery metaphors were a revelation. No lengthy internal monologues, no tortured characters dissecting their own minds. Just life, told plainly and with meaning. It felt like an open window in a stale room. That's how I ended up applying to a creative writing program in Kansas. I leaned on the windowsill and breathed in all the fresh air. But it wasn't a door, it was a window I couldn't cross over. I was still legally a minor when I graduated from Nova. My parents were afraid that I would never return home if I left for the US at 17. Without their emotional and financial support, the USA wasn't a viable option for me. I decided to wait out a year until I turned 18, and then I would apply again. But in the meantime, I enrolled in a one-year journalism program here in Skopje, and it ended up changing my original plan and my perspective on life here in Macedonia. I fell in love with the way societies function, or don't, and I started dreaming of carving a path here, of staying in Macedonia a little longer. I wanted to write in Macedonian, and I wanted to make things here for all of us. I joined a national TV station's morning program at 18. I had my first employment as a journalist. And a year later, I enrolled at comparative literature at the State University here in Skopje. Everything that I am today, good and bad, I owe to those 4 years studying comparative literature. However, I stopped writing prose. I felt that something was changing. The world was reaching for stories told in images. I started connecting literature and film. My father, who worked in advertising, bought me my first camera, and I started taking photos. But I always felt that the photos were not enough without the text, and that the text wasn't enough without the image. And that's how I came to film. One of my literature tutors suggested that I apply to the Faculty of Dramatic Arts. I came home from class and told my mom. She said, "Don't do it." And I did it. I studied script writing for 2 years, then transferred to directing. I was already 24, and other filmmakers who had been breathing cinema since they were toddlers, I was not a match to them. I was a literature lover stumbling into a new world, not quite belonging there. In 2017, I directed my first short film called The Children Will Come. And even though it was nominated for a Golden Goblet in Shanghai and screened across all 5 inhabited continents, I still couldn't shake off the feeling of being an outsider. I tried to fix it by doing what I do well, studying more. So I applied to a master's in directing fiction at Goldsmiths in London. I was awarded a Chevening scholarship by the UK government, which made my life in the UK possible. The course was hands-on, practical work, all about being on set. But the biggest lesson wasn't technical. The biggest lesson was that I wasn't going to be confident if I kept looking for external validation. When I returned to Skopje, last summer, I pivoted our company, Sutaran, into a video agency. And now we work with clients internationally and collaborate with the best talent from our country. Running this video agency wasn't my childhood dream. I didn't stay up all night fantasizing about pitch decks or campaigns designed to boost sales. I didn't dream of money. I dreamt of art that would change minds and shake systems. I wanted to fight for humanity. I wanted to challenge power. I dreamt of a world where women were equal, where borders didn't exist, where people could move freely, where stories mattered. I believed we were almost there. It was the early 2000s, and the new millennium had just arrived. So much pride was placed in the idea that the past, with its wars, inequalities, and hatred, was behind us. It felt like the 21st century would simply wash all of that away. From my self little nook in Skopje, on the path to joining the EU, I believed it. At Nova, 2 classmates and I started an underground newspaper. We called it Freedom. We meant it. We believed freedom was the supreme right, the highest form of civilization. Freedom to be who you are, freedom to love who you love, freedom to live wherever, be whatever, do whatever. We thought all we had to do was remind the world it's the 21st century. It turns out a number by itself isn't a guarantee. The 21st century didn't live up to its branding. We now see war back on European soil. We witness a genocide live-streamed with barely any response. Borders close. Young scholars get denied entry to countries that once called themselves beacons of freedom. Toxic masculinity is rebranded as influence. Women's rights are contested again. We don't live in easy times, not as women, not as Eastern Europeans, not as queer people, not as citizens of small nations. But we at Nova were raised on the ideals that don't go away just because the world starts slipping. At Nova, I learned to keep an open heart, an open mind, to offer a hand to those who need it and ask for help too. These values of community, solidarity, and defending freedom for everyone are not up for compromise. They belong to us. We carry them, and we fight for us and for those who come after us. Time flies, it seems, and I will be 37 this summer. At a recent Nova alumni event, a current student asked me if I was mad at my parents for not letting me move to the US after high school, if I still held a grudge for not having the life I'd imagined. I said no, but I wanted to give a more detailed answer, so I paused and I started thinking. And the truth was, I can't mourn a life I never lived. If none of it had happened, if I'd gone straight to Kansas, I wouldn't have the life I have now. And I love this life. Yes, the path has changed, but I carry in me the same heart, the same one that wants to change the world. One day, I will. And one day, you all will. Chin up, and happy graduation, class of 2025.
Dear Anna, thank you very much for your inspiring words. High school is such an important formative period of a person's life, and wherever our graduates disperse, they will carry the memories and bonds they made in these past 4 years with them. Let us take a break and watch the class of 2025 reflect on their experiences at Nova.
можеш да ни кажеш?
Ваня. Ваня.
Што си маскирана?
Ватиква.
What's fair is foul and what's foul is fair. We'll fly up through the fog and scared of pretty girls and starting conversations. All my friends are turning green.
Oh, you storms, full of darkness and evil within, why are you surrounding me?
Tonight, we also acknowledge and celebrate our seniors' hard work, academic achievements, civic mindedness, engagement with the community, athletic prowess, and positive role modeling. We will start by bestowing the President's Awards, administered by the U.S. Department of State Office of Overseas Schools in recognition of the students' academic excellence and commitment to growth. I invite Ms. Olgica Georgievska to bestow them to the students. This year, 11 seniors are receiving the President's Gold Seal Award. I will now ask the following students to rise and be acknowledged and wait on stage for that group photo. Evgenia Stankovska. Galina Kuzmanovska. Ivo Filipče. Kalina Beleska. Kalina Gocevska. Ksenia Bocevska. Mateja Dimova. Matej Bucevski. Meda Motjejajte. Mikhail Mirčevski. And Teodora Ristevska-Daskalovski. Okay, you can sit. Congrats. 10 more seniors are honored by receiving the President's Silver Seal Award. I ask the following students to rise and be acknowledged. Alexander Shopovsky. Anastasia Spasenovska. Daniel Louis Buttermere. Umbla Chira. Irina Bobtodorova. Lara Jovanovska-Tunava. Marin Ivčevski. Petra Slunski. Simona Ružinova. And Vanya Velkova. This year, the U.S. Citizenship Pin is awarded to 4 seniors who promote citizenship within the school and community at large and display an understanding and appreciation of civic responsibility. This year, the acknowledgement goes to Filip Angelovski, Galina Kuzmanovska, Petra Slunski, and Teodora Ristavska-Daskalovski. Next, it's time to celebrate our supernovas. Our athletics director and activities coordinator, Mr. Goran Krakovsky, will bestow the acknowledgement and introduce the recipients into our Hall of Fame while I relay his speech. So these are Mr. Krakovsky's words. Dear graduate, honored guests, parents, faculty, and staff, tonight we continue a special tradition of welcoming students who have succeeded in our Supernova Athletics and Academics program into his Supernova Hall of Fame. Now, let's be honest. We all love a good success story. And tonight, we're celebrating students who have not only succeeded, but completely crushed it in their fields. They've worked hard, demonstrated dedication, and most importantly, survived through years of training, studying, and competing to become full-time Netflix and computer games professionals. First, I would like to give a special thanks to the real MVPs, the parents. Before we introduce our inductees, let's take a moment to thank the real champions behind the scenes, the parents. You've driven them to practices, cheered at their games, maybe even tried and failed to understand their math homework. Your support has made this moment possible, and tonight we celebrate you as well. What it takes to be a Hall of Famer. Every year, our coaches nominate students who show commitment, respect, teamwork, and balance. Basically, people who don't run away from responsibility. We then rank them based on their participation in the Supernova Athletics and Academics program, and the top-ranked students earn their spot in the Hall of Fame. Each of them has a different journey, but they all share one thing: the determination to push themselves beyond their abilities. And of course, the ability to handle stress better than most of us do on Monday mornings. And now, the stars of the night. This year, we're honored to announce 2 outstanding athletes into the Hall of Fame. The first, Daniel Buttermere. Now, let me tell you something about Daniel. He is the only student who has ever beaten me, not me, Mr. Krakovsky, in free throws. Yes, you heard that right. The only one. Beyond his skills on the court, Daniel has consistently shown leadership, sportsmanship, and a team-first attitude that made him a true role model for his peers. Whether it was during games, practices, or off the court, he led by example and earned the respect of everyone around him. That's exactly the kind of character that defines a Hall of Famer. And one more Hall of Famer, Galina Kuzmanovska. Now, Galina has spent countless hours training, pushing her limits, and showing us what true dedication looks like. Her commitment to athletics is nothing short of inspiring. We've been together at many tournaments, and I can confidently say that her determination and positive attitude have been truly remarkable. Even while battling injuries, she never gave up, a true experience of resilience and strength. And let's be real, you can't really say you made it without the Supernova jersey and the plaques. Daniel, Galena, your journeys prove that success isn't luck. It's hard work, commitment, and maybe a little bit of talent mixed in. You've set the bar high for future generations, and we couldn't be prouder. Congratulations to our 2025 Supernova Hall of Famers. Let's give them a big round of applause. Tonight, we have the privilege of honoring a family whose unwavering dedication has left a lasting impact on our Supernova program and Nova community. The Buttermere family has been more than just participants. They've been devoted athletes, inspiring mentors, and tireless advocates for our community. Their commitment has helped build a culture of excellence, sportsmanship, and camaraderie we cherish today. Their legacy is one we value deeply and will never forget. At this time, I would like to invite all members of the Buttermere family to join us on stage as we present them with the Legacy Award. We wish you all the happiness, success, and fulfillment as you return to your native Virginia, and we know you'll always be Macedonians at heart, and this will always be your home. Now, as part of the IB Diploma program, the students engage in the core subjects that allow them to independently work on their own projects and consequently take part in experiential learning, allowing them to become more independent and ready for the challenges that await them in the future. One of those core subjects is CAS, Creativity, Activity, and Service, where students are expected to engage in their own projects and learn through their own experience and reflections. Through this practical and direct involvement displaying the IB learner profile, students help create a better world for themselves, but also for everyone, however small those actions might seem. This generation has demonstrated great engagement in different projects through volunteering, organizing fundraisers, and projects related to the 17 SDGs, with some students going above and beyond the expectations. These students engaged in several service experiences and projects, and they certainly left their mark with their actions, both in school and the community outside. I would like to invite our CAS coordinator, Mr. Igor Ristovsky, to present the Labinot Elshani Certificate of Outstanding Achievement in Community Service to 9 deserving seniors whose record exemplifies these traits. Lara Jovanovska-Tuneva. Galena Kuzmanovska. Ivo Filipče, Simona Ružinova, Petra Slunski, Teodora Daskalovski-Ristevska, Mikael Slavkovski, Anastasia Krstovska, and Biljana Loparski. Let us watch the second video interlude capturing your times together in and out of school.
Hi, my name is Anastasia, and I've been at Nova since pre-K, and it's incredible how much the school has shaped me personally. During my elementary school years, I've been a part of many after-school activities, my favorite being ballet, and some of my most cherished memories are our school performances that I've had the privilege to take part in, and they helped me build lasting friendships and memories that were built on shared laughter and memories. Also, I'd like to thank the school's rigorous and interdisciplinary program, which has helped me think critically across a variety of subjects such as languages and sciences. And some of my most favorite memories are the days that we spent in the lab during science, where I could build skills that I would need in my further education since I want to focus on biological sciences, and it sparked a lot of excitement and discovery for us. And also, I'd like to thank all the teachers that have not only taught us lessons during classes, but also helped me find my strengths and my weaknesses, and I've been able to forge my path in the sciences because of them. And finally, Nova is not just a school, it's a community that helps shape their students personally and academically, and I'm very grateful for being part of it.
Hi, my name is Anthony Popovsky, and I'm with Nova since kindergarten. My favorite part about Nova has to be its community, like the family festival, which is always my favorite, or the summer camp, and the people that I've met, like my friends, and the teachers that have always been there to help me learn new topics. The counselors that have always guided me and helped me to study abroad, the nurses, the administration, the custodians, the cafeteria staff. They have always been there and made Nova feel like one big family from day one. It's really something that has made Nova an unforgettable experience for me and has shaped the way I am today.
Hello, my name is Vanya Vilkova, and I have been a student at Nova International School since first grade. One of the many amazing aspects about Nova is the amazing opportunities that it offers the students when it comes to the career paths that they need to follow later on in their life. At Nova, if you're curious and eager to get involved, the opportunities find you by themselves. You just need to take the first step. For me, the turning point was in my third year of high school when I participated in the Model European Parliament in Germany. This helped me realize that international relations is the career path that I want to pursue. After that, I stayed with contact with a teacher, Ms. Ljubka, who helped me discover much more possibilities connected to this study, which also helped me build a profile outside of the classroom. I also wanted to highlight the amazing support that I have received from my teachers these past 2 years. They haven't only guided me academically, but they have also showed genuine interest in what I wanted to pursue. Looking back, I'm truly grateful for the opportunities that Nova has been able to offer me. It didn't only guide me to the path I wanted to follow, but it also gave me the confidence.
Hi, I'm Sara. I've been in Nova since middle school, and my favorite experiences in Nova have been the CISA basketball tournaments with Mr. Sali and Mr. Goran, my two favorite people in the school. In these tournaments, we've cried together, we've laughed together, but we've also won together, which is what has made them so memorable. I feel so privileged to have been in Nova since we've been very strongly supported by our guidance counselors from middle school up to now going to university. This is what has inspired me and Galena to open our own podcast to share our experiences but also support other students who are not as privileged as us. Nova is academically challenging, but the overall experience is greatly rewarding. That's why I'm so thankful to have been part of this school.
Hello, my name is Daniel Buttermere and I've been in Nova since first grade. An experience that I'll definitely cherish from Nova are the CISA tournaments that I've played in over the past 12 years. I've played in multiple basketball and volleyball tournaments and have won multiple championships. These tournaments are special to me because they have helped me to develop deeper friendships with my teammates and have also taught me important lessons on how to lead a team and how to persevere through challenges. These skills are something that I will use during the next 4 years at Washington Lee University. And I also want to give a special thanks to my teachers who have helped me the past 12 years, especially Mr. Peovsky, who has been both my biology teacher and my basketball coach.
Hello, my name is Kalin Majowski and I've been a student at Nova International School Skopje since kindergarten, and this is my 13th year here. I would like to first start by thanking all of my teachers who have taught me, but also everyone else who has been a part of this journey and who has ensured that everything runs smoothly behind the scenes, such as the custodians, the administration, and the cafeteria people. My sincere gratitude goes to them. Secondly, I would like to emphasize the international setting here with all of the students who come from a variety of cultural and religious backgrounds, and how this has provided a more nuanced education for me and to kind of observe the differences in the way that people tend to learn. And finally, I would like to thank our parents for signing us up here in hopes to get the best and most holistic education possible, and my sincere gratitude goes to all of them.
Where'd all the time go? Starting to fly. See how the hands go, waving goodbye. You know I get so forgetful when I look in your eyes. Now she's walking backward through a parade, and I'm stuck in the shadows, locked in the shade. There ain't no way to sweep up the mess that we made. She gets dressed up like a pillow, so she's always in bed. Flowers for the sick and dead. She's on the go, way too fast and way too slow. She'll turn to stone in hospitals.
Next, it's time to hear from the seniors themselves. 5 of them have been given the creative challenge of presenting to you the class of 2025 in all its richness and diversity of experiences, backgrounds, interests, talents, as well as their shared stories and unity. I invite to the stage Marin Ivchevski, Petra Slunski, Michal Mirchevski, Galena Kuzmanovska, and Teodora Ristavska-Daskalovski to deliver the senior address. And before we begin the speech, I just want to remind Marin that there is a 2-minute time limit because he tends to ignore it.
I'm heavily constrained by this so-called time limit. However, I have to follow it. Good evening to all esteemed guests, families, teachers, Nova administration, and fellow graduates. First and foremost, I want to express my gratitude to everyone currently here with us and on the live stream for taking the time to attend the graduation ceremony of the class of 225, or for the math enthusiasts, 45 squared. There is a saying in Macedonian, "Ne дека сме наши," but words cannot truly encapsulate our generation, and I believe most of you would agree. We got along with the teachers from the very first class we shared. I even think that the DP teachers anticipated our class well before we entered the 9th circle of hell. I meant IB, a story for later. On the other hand, there were instances where they questioned our time management, mainly Miss Lydia with regard to the extended essay, but she had the right to do so. I can speak for the entire class when I say this. We definitely weren't paying attention during the EE classes, and we are sorry. To elucidate further, Ms. Perunovska had a unique motivational quote for all of us a few weeks before the IB exams. "Ке попаѓате како крушки." Truly inspiring. But I believe it helped us study. I cannot go further without mentioning the TOK classes, mainly those at 8 a.m., which were a complete struggle, but only for those who attended them. On the bright side, I want to acknowledge all CISA coaches, especially Mr. Tuntev and Bojan Marina, who selected me for the knowledgeable team to specifically solve math problems. Before I go any further, could we give a round of applause for Mr. Tuntev, as this was his final full year of teaching. Special appreciation goes to our DP Macedonian teachers, Ms. Christina, Ms. Tatiana, who helped us understand the complexities of Chekhov during those cold September days. but also all MYP Macedonian teachers, Mr. Duško, Mr. Darko, Ms. Biljana, and Ms. Lydia, who built the foundation for our academic understanding. I must say that the transmogrifying journey which we went through during these 4 years at Nova has played a significant role in shaping who we will be in the future. This voyage of ours will hopefully continue at the universities we dreamt of attending as kids. One more thing. I have a question in mind for Mr. Igor. Does this count as CAS? I'm ending my part of this speech by saying a version of a Latin phrase, per aspera ad successum, and when it comes to success, I will let Petra talk about it.
Of course, our successes didn't come with only our efforts, but with the support system we were given in Nova. Our teachers gave us guidance, patience, and encouragement throughout the 4 years we spent together. To our math teachers, thank you. Even though most of us walked out of paper 1 wondering if we accidentally sat the wrong math exam, at least we now know what true humility feels like. Our language teachers encouraged us to dig deeper, even when half of us tried to bluff our way through essays with nothing but spark notes and an overuse of the word metaphor. The social sciences classes showed us that they were not only about knowing what happened, how our markets reacted, or whatever strategy a company used, but turning that into 3 essays under pressure, trying to convince the examiner we had a plan all the way. Finally, science classes showed us how life, chemicals, and physical endurance all have one thing in common, testing our patience with the amount of syllabus we were given. Nevertheless, teachers across the departments taught us to explore, test, and to never stop challenging ourselves. Our generation is often described as ambitious and determined, but those qualities didn't just happen, they were built by our teachers. They taught us how to be good people, how to listen, and how to seek self in others. So, as we celebrate our successes, we now know they're not ours completely. They belong to the teachers who walk with us every step of the way. That's all from me. Next, you will hear from Marin. I meant Mikhail. Every teacher and student in 9th grade had gone through the struggle of correctly guessing which one of them stands in front of you. The COVID-19 mask didn't help.
For the last time, I'm the one from Prelude, Marin's the one from Aerodrome. Perseverance is another quality that defines our generation. We persevered throughout the complex and at times confusing transition period from a pandemic to normalcy, preserving our friendships and creating new ones in the process. We persevered as one of the first generations to go through the MYP program, drafting last-minute speeches and research papers and improvising personal project reflections while doing collaborative assignments like the Empire Summative in Ms. Bojana's INS class, which will be forever remembered. We persevered throughout the trials and tribulations of the IB program, bravely and barely surviving the lab days using sheer willpower and fear of spilling something, which we will never talk about again because what happens in 05 stays in 05. We persevered through the internal assessments and the new physics syllabus with the help of Miss Maya. We persevered through the math HL class with Mr. Tuntev, solving mysterious problems about fish or bearings, hoping they don't come up on the exams. They did. And still managing to remain lighthearted due to an abundance of blonde jokes. We persevered throughout the many Socratic seminars with the English and TOK teachers. We persevered throughout the college application process, a process which would have been much easier if we followed Ms. Filkova's presentation since grade 9. Outside the classroom, our generation shined in extracurricular activities like speech and debate, preparing their speeches diligently, perfecting their duet performance with Mr. Dejan, and ensuring their debate arguments remained logically consistent with Ms. Ljubka and Mr. Gaitan. Our generation exhibited a wide variety of interests, being involved in activities from dancing to playing basketball, writing, filmmaking, DJing, and entrepreneurship, and starting clubs covering everything from physics to forensics. And everything we did it with passion. As the next speaker, Galena, can personally attest to when she persevered through a shoulder injury sustained as part of a CISA basketball event.
Well, after that intro, I feel like I should just clarify that not every CISA tournament ended with injuries. Most of them ended up with newfound friendships and jokes. Throughout our 4 years, this generation has shown exceptional talent across all kinds of CISA activities. Our resident basketball player, Daniel Buttermere, the one and only volleyball setter, Filip Angelovski, and for football, I'd like to point out Amvla as another fellow injured player who left it all on the field, her heart, mind, and even her ankle and foot. However, besides winning trophies and medals, we are also able to build bonds with our amazing coaches who had to deal with our lame excuses about why we couldn't run laps to warm up, or even miss practices because we're sick. Sorry, Mr. Goran, but Sara was lying to you. We also had the chance to be coached by Miss Marina, Miss Andreeva, and Mr. Saleh, who was there for us when we had 6 girls at a basketball tournament and ended up with 5 of them injured. Moreover, I'd also like to mention our Week Without Walls trip to Zlatibor, which brought some of us closer than 4 years of school could ever. We managed to survive questionable meals, hikes that were longer than promised, and I could talk about some more things, but as Mr. Goran says, what happens in Zlatibor stays in Zlatibor. Before my time runs out, since we all knew that Marin couldn't possibly stick to a 2-minute timer, I'd like to say thank you to every single person in this room. As students, we've thought about this day for years, the caps, the gowns, and yet we're here now. To our teachers, thank you for believing in us, even on the days we gave you every reason not to. To our families, thank you for giving us the possibility to be a part of this generation and being our biggest fans. And finally, thank you to my classmates for the memories, support, energy, homework, and friendships. And for my final words of wisdom, I'd like to share the one thing that I will forever remember. To quote Mr. Tuntev, man can do what man can do. We've seen what we're capable of, now it's time to do more and to do it better. Speaking of someone who did more and did it better, who else than Teddy?
After all those incredible speeches, you think that there's nothing left to say. But with our generation, there's always more. I'd like to share one final insight I learned during prom planning with Bila. We're broke. Seriously though, if you still owe 300 dinners for intermezzo, now's the time. Jokes aside, student council was more than millions of prom spreadsheets. It was hosting events and convincing admin to let us have open campus, which even when they said no, we still sometimes did, and we're only partially sorry about this one. Student council was just one way that we showed up across every club. We challenged ourselves to lead, create, and sometimes rewire the rules completely. Our generation didn't just study and have fun. We also built robots, at least those in the robotics club did. Robotics wasn't just wires and code, it was trial, error, and solving problems under pressure, which, to be fair, is the unofficial slogan of the IB. From keeping screwdrivers in your pockets, just in case, to seeing the left wheel of your robot halfway across the field, still a mystery of how that happened. Robotics was more than just a club, it was a family. Thank you, Mr. Igor and Ms. Ankica. I'm not done yet. Just when it seemed like we'd done it all, we kept going. From Model United Nations to Nova Times, our clubs weren't just CV boosters. Although that was always a pro, they were where we discovered our passions, our people, and sometimes even ourselves. I know I did. And in all this chaos, there were constants, the Nova staff. To the admin, counselors, librarians, custodians, security, and especially our teachers, though my classmates covered that part, thank you for making every day as comfortable as possible. You probably deserve a diploma too. Before I say our final goodbye, I'd like to share a quote from our history teacher, Mr. Marino. If you wish to upset the law that all crows are black, you mustn't seek to show that no crows are black. It is enough if you prove one single crow is white. Maybe that's what our generation has done, proving we could be the exception, the unexpected, the ones who didn't just follow the rules, but redefined them. So here's to our generation, for everything we built, everything we survived, and everything we're about to become. Now, the future is ours, not to find, but to create. Thank you.
He's in the class of 2025, awesome. Dear graduates, before we get to the moment you and your families have been all eagerly waiting for, I would like to invite our secondary school principal, Dr. Bela Gligorova, to deliver her parting message to you.
Good evening, everyone. I thought long and hard what I could tell them that I haven't had the opportunity to tell them either in hallways or in classrooms, in formal or informal conversations, but there is always something. So allow me to enter that something. But before I do, on the behalf of this incredible team that I have the privilege to work alongside with, we want to express our utmost gratitude for the trust that you placed in us, because without that trust, none of this would have been possible. So thank you for that. Now to that something. For those of them who know me a little bit more than the rest, because maybe I was their teacher at one point or another, or they were interested in conversations that didn't necessarily involve open campus, the love language of my family are words. My nuclear family, my extended family, my chosen family. So I was thinking of what those words would be and in what format those words would come. Because in my family, we write poems, we sing songs with the guitar or the harmonica, we engage in very playful discussions, and we nurture each other in all of the languages that are available to us. So the words that I have for them come in the format of a poem that I was brave enough to write in the company of a family of writers, and that I hopefully am brave enough to read to them. But that poem will be a part of one of the two bookends that I hope to share with them and you. The other part will come from a renowned poet, a longtime friend of our school. His name is Tihomir Jančovský, and at one point or another, he was also a trustworthy colleague. And I feel that there should always be a little bit of words in this space that come in one of the languages of this space. So I'll give my poem a go. My poem is about the fact that I know that you're adults, but perhaps for me, you will always be baby pomegranates. When I think of pomegranates, I seldom think of their lives as baby pomegranates. Perhaps it is their texture or density of flavor that leads me to see them as fully fledged adults. Recently, at the botanical garden, smack between the banana and the bamboo saplings, stood a proud little tree bedecked with baby pomegranates. The sign read, "Give these pomegranates some air." I wonder if other misguided enthusiasts like myself had overstayed their welcome when all they should have been doing is give the babies a chance to grow. Now on to the poet. If you're familiar with the work of Tihomir Jančovský, and his work often appears on IB exams, so you may have seen it there as well. The feeling is always one of community. So he has a poem. It's one from almost 20 years ago. It's called A Perfect Day, and I'll read it in its original Macedonian. Совршен ден. Некогаш во денот има еден убав час. Во неделата еден ден е поубав од другите. Во животот една година може да се издвои, а совршениот ден е дел од вечноста. Каде нема ниту простор, ниту време. Човек е најблиску до овој ден во ретките моменти на вознесеност, кога искусува вистинската љубов и радоста на постоењето. Осмиот ден на времето, првиот ден на безкрај. Thank you.
I would be remiss not to mention that while we're celebrating your graduation tonight, the class of 2005, 2010, 2015, and 2020 are also celebrating their reunions. Wherever the path takes you, I hope you stay connected, make an effort to nurture your old friendships as you forge new ones, and come together to reminisce on your time in your lives. And who knows, you may be standing on this stage one day, imparting your words of wisdom to some future generation of graduates. Class of 2025, we have reached the point of marking your official transition to all that awaits you beyond high school. It's been a great joy and privilege to be your counselor to watch you evolve, and all of us here who supported you on your journey are eager to see the people you're yet to become. Without further ado, I ask the seniors in the last row to rise and come forward to receive their diplomas. Okay, here we go. Mirshevsky Mikhail. Motiejajte Meda. Barak Oguzhan. Jovanovska Andrea. Agiowski Matej. Jonov Dmitry. Zendelski Marko. Šoljakovski Aleksandar. Bojađijevski Spiro. Dora Malinova. Kržavski Pano. Miteska Iskra. Lazarov Blagojče. Ziberi Anda. Baramir Daniel Lewis. Naskov Andrej. Naškov Smiljan. Spasenovska Anastasija. Aleksovski Aleksandar. Čerepnalkovska Ilina. Davidkovski Luka. Jevgeni Noli. Janevski Konstantin. Trajkovski Antonio. Dinev Andrej. Majovski Kalin. He's been with us since kindergarten. Lika Luan Mahmud. Angelovska Anabela, who's also been with us since first grade. Tanchev Borjan. Sarioglu Yusuf Sali. Ergenekon Nas. Salkovska Aleksandra. Šopovski Aleksandar. Янковска Евгения. Грозданов Лука. Мукаетов Ведран. Крстовска Анастасия. Павловска Илина. Беджети Пеон. Шей Сара. Спасовский Андрей. Юрчиева Бисера. Костовский Андрей. Додевский Матей. Аниси Андрея Алесия. Георгиевский Максим. Gogovska Bisera, who's been with us since kindergarten. Popovic Eva, who's been with us since first grade. Angelovski Filip. Tomevska Sara. Jovanovska Lara. Gocevska Kalina. Ivčevski Marin. Arsovska Lucia. Milojkovska Anastasija. Ferati Hana. Slavkovski Mihail. Alimi Anisa. Ristić Nikolas. Milinkovska Marija. Mladenović Bjanka. Nuhiju Jeta. Hadži Adin. Gogovska Ana. Radevski Aleksandar Ada, who's been with us since first grade. Vilkova Vanya, who has also been attending Nova since first grade. Filipče Ivo. Natska Marija. Ružinova Simona, who's been with us since kindergarten. Krsteska Marija. Serafimovska Miloševska Vedrana, who's been with us since kindergarten. Zameska Ilina. Arslan Idil Su. Nikolovska Anja. Boceska Ksenia. Mihajlovska Anja. Todorova Bob Irina. Bucevski Matej. Slunski Petra. Krkovski Nikita. Anastasov Anastasia, who's been with us since kindergarten. Al Karboli Malak. Beleska Kalina. Rakita Srna. Bojađijovska Leonora. Lalčevska Sofia, who's also been with us since kindergarten. Loparski Biljana. Karčička Andreja. Asgur Kian Max. Isailovska Galina. Ančevski Leona. Veselinov Ksenija. Petkov Stefan. Čira Embla. Popovski Antoni, who's been with us since kindergarten. Risteska Daskalovski Teodora Kumjolko Čeri. Mihajlović Simon. Svetkovska Mimi. Dimova Mateja. Cox Eva. Kuzmanovska Galena. Buralijeva Brankica. Aliju Besim. En Spirovska Dragana. Dear all, before they threw their hats in the air, we have one music surprise for you. I would like to invite the Nova Choir once again to perform a farewell song for all of you. we proudly present to you the graduating class of 2025. You know the drill, hats off in the air, congrats!